Hey everybody, today we're exploring Shades of Blood, a 3-part Pathfinder 2nd edition adventure path that takes characters from 1st level through 7th level. This video is for Game Masters only. It contains spoilers and is meant to help you decide whether Shades of Blood is a good fit for your table, so if you're a player I recommend turning back now. And note that Paizo did provide me a copy of this adventure path, but as always, my goal here is not to tell you whether you should run this campaign, but to give you clear information so you can decide for yourself whether Shades of Blood is a good fit for you and your group, and then check out more about it. First up, content warnings. Before anything else, GMs should know that Shades of Blood leans into heavy horror themes. The 3rd book includes explicit content warnings for confinement, torture, and intimate partner violence, but note that these warnings are not included in the player's guide, nor are they included in the beginning of Book 1. That means the responsibility falls to you as the GM to bring them up when pitching the game to your players or during Session 0. If your players don't enjoy survival horror or Gothic themes, this adventure path may not be a great fit for them. So, setting expectations early is going to save you headaches later. The atmosphere of this adventure path is best described as Gothic horror layered onto a dungeon crawl. Like the Bloodlords adventure path before it, Shades of Blood explores dark themes of domination, blood magic, and corrupted societies. But structurally, it feels more like Abomination Vaults. It's a descent into a giant layered mega dungeon with clear progression and discovery. This blend makes it claustrophobic, eerie, and relentless. If your table loves creeping dread paired with tactical exploration, then this might be a very good fit for you. The story begins in Talmendor's Bounty, a settlement first seen in the ruins of Azlant adventure path back in 1st edition. You don't need to have played that campaign to enjoy Shades of Blood, but veterans will appreciate the continuity. The choice to start the campaign here grounds the AP in the shattered legacy of Azlant and underscores that past victories do matter. For newer groups, Talmendor's Bounty is simply a functional starting point, a fragile colony about to face unimaginable darkness. And note that Talmendor's Bounty is the launching point for the campaign and is not used throughout. Therefore, knowing the history of the port and the events of Ruins of Azlant will help you layer in details to bring the setting to life, but having an intimate knowledge of that older adventure path is absolutely not required. The campaign's inciting incident is dramatic. A column of shadow erupts into the sky, plunging the island into premature night. This unnatural sundown sets off panic in the settlement and calls the heroes into action. It's a strong tonal signal. It says this is not just a dungeon crawl, but a story where cosmic forces and ancient machines threaten the balance of the natural world and that of light itself. This campaign is saturated with blood-themed villains. Werebats devoted to a god of stolen blood, vampire overlords with human thralls, and horrific blood-drinking aberrations await the players. What keeps this from being repetitive, though, is variety. Each book highlights sort of a different face of vampirism, from cult zealots to tyrannical lords to somewhat tragic figures whose goals are born from loss or obsession. There's even some political division among the vampires themselves, giving the players opportunities for intrigue as well as combat. The central setting of the campaign is En-Gokal, an ancient Azlanti prison complex that was buried during Earthfall. If you enjoyed running Abomination Vaults, you'll recognize the structure here, a series of dangerous levels filled with monsters, traps, and mysteries. But where Abomination Vaults focused on aberrations and occult weirdness, Shades of Blood leads into vampiric horror and the legacy of Azlant. The first chapter of Book 2 puts the party under intense survival pressure. Cut off from the surface, they must ration their food and water while navigating hostile cell blocks within the ancient prison. The campaign provides mechanics for tracking these resources through the use of food points and water points. And although the campaign is designed for using these subsystems and having a grittier tone, GMs absolutely can run it more loosely if you and your group prefer speed over bookkeeping. Either way, it reinforces the horror. The dungeon isn't just dangerous because of the monsters in it, it's dangerous because the heroes themselves are at risk of starvation and despair during this chapter. Deep beneath the prison, the players discover a cavern where villagers live beneath a false sun. These people believe they are blessed and destined for ascension into paradise, when in reality they are thralls to vampiric masters. Is one of the most memorable parts of the adventure path, presenting the party with moral dilemmas. Do you strip away their comforting illusions, or leave them enslaved in blissful ignorance? This section could shine if you lean into roleplay and ethical conflict as much as you do combat. The reoccurring themes of Shades of Blood are betrayal, manipulation, and the possibility of liberation. Trusted allies may turn, innocents may fight to preserve the chains that bind them, and some villains are motivated by loss or obsession rather than just pure evil. This campaign isn't all about slaying monsters. It's about deciding who deserves freedom, who deserves destruction, and what price is worth paying for victory. For GMs, emphasizing these themes adds emotional weight and makes the adventure resonate beyond the walls of a typical mega dungeon. The Shadow Beacon is the central device behind the entire campaign. Originally an Azlant tool, it's been corrupted into a machine capable of blotting out the sun permanently. How the PCs choose to interact with it defines the campaign's finale. They might deactivate it safely, destroy it completely, trigger a catastrophic explosion, or even use it to repair the planar barrier that separates the Netherworld from Golarion. Each outcome has consequences, making the finale feel truly player-driven. The beacon isn't just a plot device, it's a moral and mechanical pivot for the entire story, and although the campaign officially ends there, the consequences of the player's decision can be used to set up future adventures. So if your players enjoy Gothic horror, survival mechanics, and moral dilemmas within the framework of a massive dungeon crawl, then Shades of Blood may be an excellent fit. If they prefer a lighter tone or adventures with room for more varied exploration than what you might find in a dungeon crawl, then this one might not be right for your game. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss my future Pathfinder coverage. And, as always, thank you for watching, take care, and happy gaming.